Now, the number of houses sold last month fell 3.3%. Now, this is a third month in a row there's been a drop. The number is seasonally adjusted. It's a month-on-month figure. In fact, actually, compared with a year ago, the number is up just a fraction. These are all about volume of sales, and they come from HM Revenue and Customs. There are other numbers out today from the Office of National Statistics and the Land Registry, and they show house prices are still rising, but a little bit more slowly. 4.7% up in the year to May. It was 5.3% up in the year to April. Now, the average UK house price was £221,000. That was 2 months ago. Kate Faulkner is an independent property consultant. Kate, putting all these things together, all these numbers we've had out today, where's the market? Which way is it going?
Well, it's actually quite a nice market at the moment, certainly if you're actually buying and selling. And obviously with the housing market, we've got the economic implications and, of course, the personal implications. So from a personal perspective, if you're looking to buy, the nice thing is you don't have to hurry too much because we've got small rises in prices. And if you're looking at selling, then you don't have to kind of worry that you're not going to get a buyer, because we still seem to be matching buyers and sellers quite well at this moment in time. So a small sort of 3 to 5% rises that we're seeing at the moment, that's a nice steady market. Not fantastic economically because it doesn't encourage lots of people to move, but which puts a lot of money back into the economy. But I think it's a nice market at this moment in time.
But if it's fairly stagnant, if it's fairly flat, there's not much in the way of transactions, what happens if you get suddenly a number of people who have to sell, they start putting their prices down?
Sure. So that is where you start getting the stats coming back then with price market falls. So, and it's only really when people panic. And I have to say, I do think talking to people now on a sort of regular basis, people are a lot more clued up about the housing market. They're not as freaked out by headlines, scary headlines, some of the ones we've had recently about crashes. They kind of understand that they're in this now. When you buy a property or sell a property, you're in this for 25 to 50 years. You're going to see some highs and lows, and you're going to see some stable periods like we're having now.
What about higher interest rates? What would that do to the market? Supposing they went up 0.25%, 0.5%. I mean, no one seems to agree on when they're going to go up, but if they did.
Yeah, well, actually, we're in a unique situation that we've never had before. I mean, if you look at pre-credit crunch, then we know that it was scary times, huge numbers of people on even 125% mortgages. But really, since the market changes, which came in 2014, people are being assessed very well on their affordability. So not just at the current low interest rates, but also kind of plus 3%. Now, actually, what I think is going to hit harder than a small interest rate, which I think people will be able to cope with, bearing in mind that the English Housing Survey had 54% of people owning a home outright out of those people that own a home, so they're not even going to be affected. But what we have got coming up is harsher affordability on a mortgage, whereby you've got to look at the sort of 3% plus the standard variable rate of the lender. That's probably going to hit us slightly harder and maybe pull back some of the first-time buyer growth that we've experienced up until now.
You said it's quite a nice market, or quite a pleasant market for buyers and sellers, but what about the estate agents? What kind of a life are they leading at the moment? All estate agents are letting agents now, so they're both in the rental market and in the buying market. So as far as they're concerned, again, they prefer a steady market. The big highs and lows aren't favourable to them. The toughest thing for everyone in the market, but whether surveyors, lenders, etc., is the huge lack of stock that we have coming through. Hopefully, we'll see a lot more new build, a lot more shared ownership and sort of affordability products coming through. That's the real growth area. But the council mortgage lenders came up with some interesting stats showing that we'd lost about 140,000 home movers, which is bread and butter to an awful lot of estate agents. So I think what we don't understand sometimes is that when it's hard for people to find houses, it's also hard for estate agents to make a living as well. You may rejoice at that at some moment, but they do provide a lot of jobs and good jobs. So it is a tough market out for them because it's highly competitive. OK. Kate Faulkner, thanks so much.